uniben.edu, or check our web page for starters at dreed.uniben.edu. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Professor Nwigwe. I thought you would clap for her better than this, because she has taught you how to save your money. And she has told you this morning, one critical thing that we should look at is, no matter how small, access the fund. Don't say, it's just 100,000. And we know you have money, but help somebody like Bill Gates to spend his money. And then also, expand your visibility. With doing all of this, you are going places. Please, let's celebrate her one more time. Thank you very much, ma'am. So our next speaker, who will be talking to us for 10 minutes only, is a clergyman. So you need to listen very attentively, because he has also got stuff for you that will be very useful to you. Ladies and gentlemen, as we welcome off stage this morning, I would like us to celebrate Professor Venerable Mo Uwandiani, who will be speaking to us on critical thinking. Please let us keep clapping until he gets off stage. He has 10 minutes to speak to us about this. Please note your questions, as we said earlier.
The Vice Chancellor of this great university, Professor EDOBA, OMOREGIE, SAN, the Provost of the College of Postgraduate Studies in this university, and other dignitaries that are here in academia. I want to thank you for inviting me to be part of this orientation for the postgraduate students that are just here. Well, I'm asked to speak for 10 minutes. I was initially asked to speak for 20 minutes, but that's okay, no problem. And my topic is critical thinking. Critical thinking. And I want to say, in the first instance, it may look elementary, so to say. What is a university? Understanding the concept of a university will help you to navigate in these waters of critical thinking. A university is a community of scholars and students. A community of scholars and students. And it is a center for truth, excellence, and ivory tower. Center for truth, excellence, and ivory tower. And that is to say, for you to be able to embrace truth and excellence, you need to be engrafted in critical thinking. But unfortunately, in most universities in Nigeria, there is no more ivory. And if there is ivory, it is not towering. And that is really very unfortunate and all of that. I have taught postgraduate students for 38 years in this university. All right? And I have produced, as of last month, 62 PhDs. Many of them are professors in this university, and they are in key positions. So I understand the critical thinking system of students. So you see, so that you will understand what you are talking about, you need to know why you are here. Why is the university established? I'm sure the Provost will dwell on that more. But it is a center for the generation of high level and thinking manpower for the development of this nation, and also to generate the new scholars for the next generation in terms of scholarship. In other words, which again makes it very, very interesting in the university, is that I know for sure that some of you have already prepared some cooked thesis for delivery. What did I say? Therefore, critical thinking is nothing but a serious engagement in intellectual and cognitive discipline and objective thinking through the process of what? Identifying a problem. Identifying the problem, asking probing questions, analyzing an interpretation, and then reflecting and discussion of what you are talking about. In other words, critical thinking is a process of understanding the clarity, the precision in what you are trying to do as a postgraduate student. All right? Now, why critical thinking? Why do we need to begin to market to you the need for critical thinking? One, it enhances objectivity. Two, it helps you in understanding and engaging in probing questions. And then you should be able to have some element of observation. In fact, the major characteristics of a graduate student is the power of observation. Even as we are talking now, I don't know what you're observing. And again, it will help you in the approach of intellectual integrity and excellence, and intellectual freedom. And then the delight and the desire for truth. And above all, it will encourage you to be bold and courageous, but at the same time, showcasing humility and not pride, and upholding the spirit of merit. One thing that makes the university a different organization is the search or the practice of meritocracy. But unfortunately, in the modern arena, I'm not too sure if that is what is occupying the minds of the people. In other words, critical thinking helps you to understand what you see, what you say, what you read about, and what you hear. What you see, what you hear, what you read about, and what you say. In other words, it helps you to give informed judgment. In other words, the bias, the issue of bias is a major problem among postgraduate students as we begin to navigate through this process. And that is why it is important for you to understand the typology or the formology of critical thinking. We're talking of critical thinking. What are the forms of critical thinking? And that is to say, critical thinking elevates you beyond the level of pedestrian or pace and scissors or what we call capital thinking, which is a product and a reflection of rote learning. Rote learning that is driven by the desire and the search and the grace for certificates. Now, I ask a small question. Assuming you are asked by the Vice Chancellor that the degrees for which you have applied for is ready, under God, how many of you want to take it and go away? Under God, how many of you want to take it and go away? Somebody is raising the hand. May God help you in Jesus' name. And for those who are in that category but they don't want to talk. And that is to tell you that you are just here for certificates, not the knowledge. And it's a shame to the modern generation. So what am I talking about? Critical thinking, we are not talking about the pedestrian thinking. We are not talking about along the road thinking. We are talking about one, analytical thinking. In this analytical thinking, it's expected that complex situations are broken down into parts and you begin to see the interplay, the interaction of this part for reason judgment. And it takes a lot of mental discipline. In other words, you have to begin to use mental imaging to bring abstract ideas into reality. That takes you to the level of what we call mental autosynthesis. So you see, so critical thinking is not big. So we are saying that at the end of the time, you must begin to think analytically. That is the first step of critical thinking. You must be analytic, not begin to think like somebody who has just passed through a simple educational institution. And number two, creative thinking. And that is where we have missed it in Nigerian educational system. And I tell you, look at this array of young people from different intellectual backgrounds, and it's expected that Ceteris Paribus and Sequel Vigendi, that means no start at the go. We expect that the products of their research and thesis should be able to move Nigeria, but I don't understand. In other words, are you asked the question, why have things remained the same? Go to postgraduate school, you see theses that have been completed over the years, they are gathering dust, nothing has come back from it. Because most of the theses, most of the reasoning are the level of let me pass the exam and go. So, young minds, when we talk about creative thinking, we are saying you must begin to look at things in new ways. Begin to think of creative, innovating. We cannot continue like this. And that is why I challenge you, young minds. The nation is relying on you. Now touch your head. Say, God, help me to think well. Now, what am I saying? I am saying that we expect that at the end of time, something new should emerge from your thesis writing or area of specialization. Beyond creative thinking, we have what we call logical thinking. Logical thinking is a process where you have to apply what we call deductive, inductive, and syllogism in putting things together. But in any case, in logical thinking, the major thing is you must attack and avoid fallacies. When somebody is talking and you think critically or logically, you will see the level, the pattern, the depth of the argumentation. But unfortunately, young people, you don't ask questions. And then you are thinking illogical. That's okay. You are thinking about illogical. Beyond logical thinking, there's what we call reflective thinking. And that is why you are expected to have some element of quiet. You begin to think back and begin to relate the past with the present. And that brings you into what I call predictive thinking. In other words, thinking into the future. In other words, people of young minds, what is going to happen to this university in the next 30 years? What is going to happen to students? Or even life as a whole? You begin to reflect and predict. And when you begin to do this, you are now beginning to be at the buttocks of critical thinking. As I round up because of time, my 38 years of teaching postgraduate studies, I have been able to decipher that that's what we call habit of mind. And this is the Cinderella, the fulcrum of the thinking process in the postgraduate step. The habit of mind. And in the habit of mind is what? Applying your commitment, your intellectual values, and your views into what you are doing. And in that sense, you must have some degree of open-mindedness. You have some degree of free-mindedness. Are you hearing me? And also some level of degree of fairness in mindedness. And that is what I challenge you. As you think, one of the major elements of thinkers it is God that giveth knowledge. And for you to be able to think with engraved medulla oblongata, and you understand what I'm saying? To a level of pedagogical learning system, in which case you begin to showcase and market your mind and yourself. You need divine revelation. You need what? Otherwise, your level, your mental level, your mortal mental level can only navigate you through the level of the ordinary. And for you to move into the portals of the knowledge that changes society, you need divine what? Revelation. And you cannot have divine revelation by eating beans and dodo and you drink and go and sleep. As I round up, I want to congratulate you young people. It is the best decision you can take in your lifetime to come in and do a postgraduate studies. Because you see, knowledge is power. Never mind that Nigeria they tell you, now who book help? They help me. You get what I'm saying? Help me. And I'm saying that take it serious. This is an opportunity for you to be great. And as I came into this place, I saw the spirit moving. So you see, not many of you are going to be great. And for you to be great, you must be disciplined. And then don't pollute yourself. Don't pollute your mind. And God will help you.
Thank you, Venerable Mwanyani. I told you that he's a clergyman, so he has something to deposit. You are heard it. That apart from, we know you're sharp and intelligent, but apart from your intelligence, he said you need what? Divine revelation. So let's walk in that line, and everything will overwhelm. He has already prayed for you that you are successful and you are great. Please, can we celebrate it one more time? Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, it's a great delight, privilege, and pride for me to call on the Provost, College of Postgraduate Studies, University of Benin, the one, the only Professor David IZEKOR. Very hardworking, amiable, intelligent, upright. Thank you, sir.
Good morning, everyone. The librarian is here as the principal officer of the university, and respect have to be accorded principal officer. In the absence of our vice chancellor, who will come in when the oath-taking ceremony will take place, I recognize the presence of the librarian of our university, the only woman that has read all the book in the world. She's a professor, and being a professor shows that you are a scholar. We were in a conference recently, in the meetings recently in Geneva, just last week, and something happened, and the Vice Chancellor told us that as professor, you don't have anything to prove anymore. You have done all you have to do to get to that point. You really don't have anything to do. So our librarian have read all the books. We go to the University of Benin Library. She has read every single book in that library. And she can tell you anything you want to know about the library. I recognize the immediate past librarian of our university, Professor Luke Obasui. Sorry, our librarian is Professor Mrs. Abba, Jane Abba. I also recognize the presence of the Deputy Provost, College of Postgraduate Studies, Dr. Mrs. Edo Taiwo. I recognize the presence of resource persons. Venerable who just gave his lecture, I recognize your presence. I recognize the presence of everyone here. Above all, I recognize the presence of our great students, whose purpose, whose reason we are here gathered this morning. Thank you so very much. My presentation is to talk of the place of University of Benin in higher education in Nigeria. We all know University of Benin is an old university, one of the first generation universities in Nigeria. In fact, it's the sixth among the first generation universities in Nigeria, established in 1970. We're about 55 years of age, and we have come a long way. I will talk briefly about the history and development of the School of Postgraduate Studies. I'll talk about our postgraduate program. I'll talk about our alumni contribution, NUC accreditation, University of Benin ranking. You are here today. We didn't come to tell you at all, come to University of Benin. You came to University of Benin because you know that this is a university to be. This is a university where you will be taught, you will learn, you gain knowledge, and become what you want to become. We'll talk about the contributions of our alumni, what they are doing nationally and internationally, and how we are getting good reports about them. We'll talk about all that. I'll begin with history and development of the School of Postgraduate Studies of the University of Benin. As I just mentioned, the University of Benin was established in 1970, but however, the postgraduate training in University of Benin started in 1979-1980 academic section. And in that fourth section, where postgraduate education started in University of Benin, we admitted a total of 87 postgraduate students. 87 students were enrolled in that first session of 1980-1981. In October 1981, the School of Postgraduate, the registrar of the university just walked in, even though I'm already making presentation. Madam Registrar, you are most welcome to this orientation. Before now, she has helped to put all this in place. She was the director and college secretary to School of Postgraduate Studies. She helped in planning all this, but God has a different plan for her. Just a few weeks ago, she was appointed the substantive registrar of University of Benin. She has taken office on the 1st of April, and she was officially inaugurated yesterday. That was because the Vice Chancellor, the former registrar, were out of the country. Officially yesterday, she was inaugurated. She is Miss Big Big of Moyiwola. As I said, postgraduate studies were introduced in the University of Benin during the 1979-1980 academic section, and a total of 87 students were admitted in that first academic section. In October 1981, the School of Postgraduate Studies was established with commencement of academic activities. The primary concern of the School of Postgraduate Studies was to foster a clear understanding of its role, to establish and streamline procedure, to expand opportunities for postgraduate training and research, and encourage the introduction of new programs, as well as the review of old ones. Sometime last year, 2025, we had NUC accreditation because University of Benin had been chosen as one of the 18 centers of excellence in Nigeria. NUC sent their team, TechFund sent their team to come and look at our postgraduate program. And in the submission of our documents, NUC and TechFund found that University of Benin is the only university that has the highest number of postgraduate programs in the entire Nigeria. As at that visit, we have about 355 postgraduate programs in University of Benin. In the Senate meeting we had some 3 weeks ago, we approved some new program, about 30, which means by today, University of Benin is having about 380 postgraduate programs. And that is why we are one of the most sought after universities in Nigeria in terms of postgraduate training. The conversion of School of Postgraduate Studies to College of Postgraduate Studies. The School of Postgraduate Studies have to be converted to College of Postgraduate Studies because of the limitations that are enshrined in the School of Postgraduate Studies. There were a lot of things you are not able to do. You have to seek permission, you have to seek approval every now and then, including financial approval to do a lot of things. But when the present administration came on board, they need to convert the School of Postgraduate Studies to a College of Postgraduate Studies with a level of autonomy, including financial autonomy, to make things more flexible. That idea was mooted. The Senate of the University of Benin immediately keyed into it and the University Council, in its meeting held on the 20th, on Thursday, 20th of February 2025, gave approval, and today we are running a full-fledged College of Postgraduate Studies with autonomy to run the program. Today, I can assure you, as you are coming today, by the end of this academic session, you'll be done with your coursework. You just have one more academic session to do your thesis and dissertation for those in master's program. Why those in PhD program? 3 years is 3 years. MSc, 2 sessions is 2 sessions. Postgraduate diploma, 1 academic session is 1 academic session. Next, we look at overview of Uniben place and contribution in higher education in Nigeria. Academic program. University of Benin offers a wide range of postgraduate programs, including masters, MPhil, PhD. What do I mean by MPhil, PhD? We have about 22 students here who are into the MPhil, PhD program. These are for students who do not have enough percentage, enough GPA to go directly into the PhD program. Instead of waiting to do the MPhil for 2 years before going to apply for MPhil, PhD, we have now created the MPhil, PhD program. When you apply for this program, you do the deficiencies you have, you will do it within 1 academic session. Without any further screening, we just upgrade you, your HOD will write to the College of Postgraduate Studies, where we will approve and upgrade you directly into the PhD program. So instead of spending 5 years, you now spend 4 academic sessions and you have your PhD. This diversity in course specialization makes the University of Benin a hub for interdisciplinary research and advanced education. Uniben academic structure is robust. We have 2 colleges, 22 faculties and schools, 5 centers of excellence, 4 institutes, which collectively support a wide range of academic programs. Uniben postgraduate programs are extensive, catering to diverse fields and ensuring accessibility for students seeking higher education. University of Benin is committed to providing specialized postgraduate education with programs designed to meet international standards, with a focus on research and practical application. Academic standing and ranking. University of Benin standing in postgraduate education University of Benin standing in postgraduate education has contributed so much to national and international development ranking, and according to the 2025 Times Higher Education World University Ranking, we all know about Times Higher Education. They are the one that tells you how your university is performing around the world, nationally, internationally, and globally. University of Benin is ranked as number 10 among Nigerian universities. We are among the first 10. We are not 10. We are among the first 10 high-performance universities in Nigeria. This ranking is supported by analysis of over 15 million research publications and a survey from approximately 40,000 scholars worldwide, thus underscoring its research output and academic reputation. Uniben's broad range of postgraduate programs and strong national ranking position it as a competitor in postgraduate education. Uniben postgraduate programs are recognized for quality and excellence, attracting students from across the country and neighboring African countries. Uniben research facilities and innovation support. University of Benin infrastructure significantly supports its advanced education programs. Infrastructure such as the John Harris Library serve as a central academic resource for staff and students, while the University of Benin Teaching Hospital is a key facility for medical postgraduate training. I want to encourage you that as you are here as students, you do all your registration, try as much as you can to visit the library. We have a lot of resources in the library, both hard copies as well as e-facilities. University of Benin subscribes to quite a number of learning facilities across the world. It is only when you get to the library that you'll be able to access these facilities. Sometimes they say the world is a global village, you can have everything on your phone, but I can tell you for free that some of the e-facilities we have, you can't access them directly on your phone, except you are in the library and you are within the university community. You'll be able to access those e-facilities. So take advantage of it, go to the library. We have quite a lot that will aid your research. The first 2 speakers talked about research finding, how to do your research work, go to the library, you have quite a number of material to do all this. These facilities and initiatives ensure postgraduate students have access to resources that meet global standards, enhancing their research potential and professional development. University of Benin is known for producing significant research output cutting across all its areas of expertise. It demonstrates significant research output with over 11,700 academic publications and more than 115,000 citations globally in over 100 research topics. The university is a home to several research centers and institutes that support postgraduate research. Accreditation and quality assurance. I already mentioned that NUC and TEDFORM came to accredit some of our postgraduate programs that were due for accreditation. The result was excellent, and we were rated as the only university that has over 350 postgraduate programs in the entire Nigeria as a country. There is no program you want. If you go to some university, they will tell you they don't have this program you want to do. But in the University of Benin, we have developed to that extent that we have virtually every program that you want to do as a postgraduate student in Nigeria University. The University of Benin programs are all fully accredited by the National University Commission and other relevant professional bodies. This reinforces university status as a credible institution for training in higher degree. We now look at national impacts and our alumni contribution. The University of Benin role in higher education extends beyond academics, contributing to national development through its alumni and research outputs. The University of Benin has produced notable alumni, too numerous to mention in this presentation. These notable alumni exemplified UNIBEN impacts on national and international development. Alumni of the University of Benin hold influential positions in academia, government, public, and private sector, both in Nigeria and internationally. The university's centers of excellence and institutes further support research that addresses national challenges such as health, innovation, sustainable agriculture, procurement, and social standards, environmental management, as well as petroleum system research and geosciences. These align with the university mission to instill entrepreneurial skill and create qualified manpower for industries. Before I conclude, I would want to add a little to what the last speaker mentioned, that some persons say education is a scam. If education is a scam, why would somebody who has been a member of the House of Representatives for 8 years, somebody who is a deputy governor of a state, want to pursue further degrees? What is he looking for? Is it money? Obviously not. Education is not a scam. Presently, in University of Benin, we have a state number 2 man, deputy governor of our state. He's not here because he has a lot to do in the office. He's our student. He's a PhD student. We have about 6 serving commissioners in Edo State who are presently pursuing their postgraduate program in the university. And if some of us who is doing a master's program or a PhD program, so education is a scam, it's a waste of time. I'm happy that you are all here today because you believe so much that education is not a scam. I, as a person, I came from a humble background. I can see a deputy director in one of the federal establishments in Nigeria. I just saw him right here, smiling at me, and I won't mention his name. Somebody has risen to the rank of a deputy director, a director in a federal establishment. To be a director in a federal establishment, you are made for life. He's here looking at me, I'm looking at him, doing a postgraduate program. And some of us want to pick up a postgraduate program because we feel, let us just keep ourselves easy because we do not have a job for now. Nigeria has come of age that you need to have a postgraduate education to really fit into the society workforce presently. In conclusion, University of Benin occupied a distinguished place in postgraduate education in Nigeria. This is characterized by its extensive program offering, high national ranking and significant contribution to research and development. University, high academic standard, qualified teaching staff and research, facilities along with its reputation for academic excellence make UNIBEN a leading institution for higher education in Nigeria. As the university continue to seek international accreditation, such as from the Quality Assurance Agency, United Kingdom. The Institute is poised to further enhance its global standing, ensuring it remains a cornerstone of postgraduate education in Nigeria, combining academic excellence, robust research, and societal impact. Just recently, October last year, we had reason to visit the admitted about 3,700 plus. The admission is ongoing, except now that we have done matriculation, we have to close the admission. Everything about admission closes as soon as matriculation is done. The stream 2 is ongoing. By July, stream 2 will resume of this academic session, and we can guarantee you, you can quote me, to guarantee you that you will graduate as and at when you, except of course, you choose not to graduate on time. If you choose to graduate within 18 months for your master's, 3 years for your PhD, we have the personnel to ensure that this is possible. At the University of Benin, under the present administration, ensure that lecturers do not suffer any lack as far as financial provision and welfare is concerned. Whatever is due for the lecturers, they are being given. As you all know, federal government does not fund postgraduate education. And for the lecturers to be part of postgraduate education, postgraduate training means they have to be given some measure of incentive. And what is due for them from the fees that is paid, everyone is being paid. So we all have reason to be happy to do what we are expected to do as lecturer and to ensure our students graduate on time. I will say more when I'm giving my address during the matriculation. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you very much, Provost. He has summarized it, he has said it all. So you know why you're here, and you know that you are in a place that is credible and recognized globally. He has also told you something. You're not just here. Network. Don't just come from home, go to class, only talk to your classmates. We have calibers of personalities. And at the postgraduate level, it's one of the things you ought to do. Please can we put our hands together again for our Provost for that very insightful talk. Now this time, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished students, you're going to be hearing from someone that is very experienced. She's the principal officer of our university. She's an experienced college secretary of the College of Postgraduate Studies here at the University of Benin. She was a director of registry up till April 1st when she was elevated as the registrar of our university. Ladies and gentlemen, please let us all welcome to the microphone to speak to us this morning for 10 minutes only, the registrar of our university, Ms. Bigbe Oboyiwola. Everything she needs to tell you about the rules and regulations of the university, please take it to heart.
Inasmuch as it's easy to take advantage of established protocols, I still have to acknowledge those that need to be acknowledged. The University Librarian, the Provost, College of Postgraduate Studies, professors, directors. I can see the Deputy Provost of College of Postgraduate Studies. Ladies and gentlemen, I congratulate the Provost for another milestone in the administration of postgraduate studies in the University of Benin. This exercise started last year. We had the maiden edition of orientation and matriculation exercise for postgraduate studies for students last year, and I'm happy that it's sustained not only sustained, the attendance is massive. And so I congratulate the students that have gained admission into the University of Benin for their postgraduate training. You are in the right place. And to speak on rules and regulations as well as the postgraduate students' responsibilities. I'll try to do that as quick as possible because of time. Introduction. Rules and regulations are official, established guidelines and instructions designed to control behavior, maintain order, and ensure compliance within the organization's society. In other words, rules and regulations are essential to maintain order, safety, and fairness, preventing chaos, and resolving conflicts. They establish behavioral boundaries, protect individual rights, ensure accountability, promote stability, foster peaceful coexistence, and efficient operations. Generally, rules and regulations governing students' academic growth and development in the University of Benin are formal binding policies designed to support the university's mission and vision, maintain academic standards, ensure fairness, foster student success, and guarantee a positive overall student experience. Such rules and regulations cover a wide range of issues as follows. Number one, admission policies and requirements. I'm convinced that all of you have met these requirements, and that's why you have been offered admission, so congratulations. For masters, you need a minimum of 2 children. While for PhD, please listen carefully, because I know that after masters, many of you would like to proceed for PhD. You have to start now, because you must make an average score of 60% in your master's program to be able to proceed to PhD directly. Otherwise, the Provost has explained the issue of MPhD, that if you fall short of that requirement, for instance, if you score 59.99999, you will not be offered admission for PhD. The best you can have is MPhil PhD. And even at that, MPhil PhD is not open-ended. You have to score a minimum of 55. So if you score 54.9, you cannot still enroll for MPhil PhD. So it is that serious. And for you, those who are master's students, the time to remedy that is now. Let's move to the issue of academic integrity and conduct. Plagiarism. This is the act of presenting someone else's work, words, ideas, or data as your own without proper acknowledgement or citation. It's a form of intellectual theft and academic dishonesty. Examination misconduct. Coming to examination hall with extraneous materials, discussions during exam, impersonations, and all are misconduct. And so, there are sanctions. Regulations governing the conduct of university examinations as well as examination misconduct and penalties are usually circulated to students before the commencement of semester examinations. They are here in the student handbook. So please, because it's unfortunate that recently we had cases where postgraduate students were caught during exam for malpractice, coming in extraneous materials. At this level, no, it is not acceptable. We expect some level of integrity and seriousness that a postgraduate student should not be mentioned to have been involved in such acts. There are strict rules which govern exam behavior, including prohibition of unauthorized materials, specific identification requirements and penalties for lateness. Means exams due to illness or emergency require documentation within a strict deadline. Students have the right to challenge grades, usually starting with an informal discussion with the lecturer, followed by a formal, time-sensitive review process. So if for any reason you feel that you have not been fairly treated, if you are sure of what you have done and you are not convinced about your grade, you have the right to challenge the process. The university gives you that opportunity. And of course, you must meet your graduation requirements. Every program has graduation requirement that you expect to meet. Maximum time. There's a maximum time allowable period for degree completion for each academic program. If there's a pressing issue that may allow a student to register for any academic session, if there's a pressing issue that may not allow a student to register for any academic session, the student should apply for temporary withdrawal early enough in the academic session. Financial obligations. Meeting your financial obligations is one of the criteria for retention of studentship in the university. Therefore, pay your school fees as and when due. Late payment attracts extra charges. While non-payment in any given academic session means that you are no longer a registered student and deemed to have voluntarily withdrawn from the university. Support system. Students are advised to take advantage of the support system provided by the department and the College of Postgraduate Studies when in need. Other matters. Safety and security. In order to protect the campus community, there are policies regarding harassment, intimidation, discrimination, and safety protocols to protect students and staff and to create a secure environment conducive for learning. Therefore, any form of harassment or discrimination should be reported to appropriate authorities. Fairness and consistency. The University of Benin believes in equal treatment, which ensures that all students are held to the same standards and treated equally, thereby promoting a culture of equity and trust. Clear procedures. The University of Benin provides standardized processes for grievances, appeals, and disciplinary actions, ensuring that decisions are not arbitrary or based on favoritism. Transparency. There are clearly documented policies which make it easier for students and staff to know their rights and obligations. Let's go to maintaining order and discipline. There are rules and regulations in place to minimize disruption on campus, allowing for productive learning. Such rules include behavioral education in lecture rooms, laboratories, residential halls, and other facilities. The university has strong policies against social violence, and any involvement in such violence attracts severe penalties. These include but not limited to bullying, drug abuse, fighting, stealing, robbery, counterfeiting, prostitution,
unruly behavior, cybercrime, rape and sexual assaults, violence and thuggery, indecent dressing, selling of bed space, squatting in halls of residence, use of unauthorized appliances in halls of residence. Membership of association. All associations must secure approval and duly registered with the university. University health services. A student must, upon admission into the university, register with university health services to access medical attention when necessary. Then the use of library. The provost has spoken that every student must be registered and obtain library card to have access to library facility throughout the period of stay. If a book is borrowed from the library, it must be returned within the specified time to avoid penalties. Disciplinary system. The laws governing the university vest the Vice-Chancellor with the power to discipline students. The Vice-Chancellor acts on the report and recommendations of relevant organs to carry out appropriate disciplinary actions against any erring student. Quickly, let me reinforce your responsibilities. Postgraduate students are primarily responsible for upholding high academic standards, conducting original research, and adhering to university regulations. It is the duty of postgraduate students to maintain high GPA average requirements, to ensure timely submission of theses and projects, attend seminars, and adhere to ethical standards in research. For clarity, you are expected to undergo clearance into your programs, which I believe you have done. And if you have not done it, it's very important.
Then payment of fees, also is important. Academic and research compliance, students must comply with regulations set by the College of Postgraduate Studies, the departments, as well as other bodies. Research integrity, students are expected to produce original research contributions in their chosen field, particularly at the PhD level. Progress monitoring. They are responsible for submitting progress reports and adhering to the stipulated duration of the program, applying for extension only in exceptional cases. Administrative duties. Students must ensure that all official transcripts from previous institutions are officially forwarded to the College of Postgraduate Studies. They are also expected to provide their NYS discharge, exemption, or exclusion certificate. Attendance and participation at lectures. Attendance is crucial as is participation in seminars, so on. Students must work closely with assigned supervisors, submitting required forms and reports throughout their studies. Students are encouraged to develop professional competencies to prepare for roles in industry, research, institutes, or academia. Beyond academics, they are encouraged to be proactive and innovative in creating opportunities and applying their knowledge to solve problems. And they must follow the proper channels for any administrative requests. When you want to make any request, start your HOD to be done in the Provost College of Professors. In conclusion, the university is established primarily to educate the students, cultural development, and inculcation of good character and integral part of that education. An acceptance of admission offered by students to the university automatically implies that he or she has accepted to abide by the rules and regulations that may from time to time be made for the governance of the university. Such acceptance also carries with it an obligation that the student shall conduct himself or herself as a law-abiding and responsible member of the academic community. Every student of the university is required to maintain a high standard of professional integrity. Each student shall conduct himself or herself peaceably in advocating for any changes which he or she may consider necessary. The university regards as serious offenses any unethical, immoral, dishonest, disloyal, or destructive behavior, as well as violations of university regulations. It is the responsibility of each student not only to acquaint himself or herself with these regulations, but to help to uphold them at all times. I wish to emphasize that all members of the university community, including students, are subject to the laws of the nation, whether within or outside the university premises, like other citizens. It must be noted that the university reserves the right to discipline a student whose conduct, whether within or outside the university premises, is capable of bringing the image of the university into disrepute. Let me close with the words of Apostle Paul in his letter to the Corinthians, where he uses an athletic metaphor to explain that he disciplines his body and brings it under control like a runner, so that he will not be disqualified from winning the race. Therefore, just as athletes must follow strict rules to win the race, I urge you also to observe the rules and regulations of the University of Benin, so that you will not be disqualified from the race which you have started as you pursue your goals of academic attainment in the university. Once again, I congratulate you for being found worthy to be members of this great academic community, and I pray that the wind will be behind your sail throughout your journey in the university. Thank you for listening and God bless.
Thank you very much, Madam Registrar. Thank you. Talking about rules and regulations. University of Benin is not ready to disqualify you, so do not disqualify yourself. Esteemed students, to speak to us in the next 10 minutes is one of the principal officers of our university, the university librarian. Ladies and gentlemen, please let us make welcome to the microphone Professor Mrs. Jane Abba, as she will be coming to talk to us in the next 10 minutes. And while she's coming up, please, owner of vehicle number BEN 340BC, kindly repark. Your attention is needed outside. Vehicle BEN 340BC, your attention is needed urgently.
postgraduate students here, good morning and welcome to this session. Today, we are going to be looking at the topic grazing, or rather searching, discovery, and retrieval of information. These three concepts have symbiotic relationship. They are intertwined. When you want to carry out your research in the life or anywhere, remember your research topic or title or idea is not generated only from your head or your idea. It's emerging from scholarly work that other scholars have done. Otherwise, you'll be duplicating what has already been done. So you have to carry out due diligence, search of these resources. And when doing this, there are two methods that researchers often use, and one will lead to mistakes. That is called grazing. Grazing means simply using generic search engines like Google. The information you get in Google, most of them have not been vetted. And whatever information you get there may lead to misinformation. So, the resources we have in John Harris Library is based on deep search, deep retrieval, complex retrieval. We have organized these resources carefully. We have studied them to ensure that they meet the authenticity of the researcher and they are current and relevant to your search. When you visit John Harris Library, it is governed by three pillars or components. The first pillar is the digital assets. These premium assets, most of them are paid, subscribed databases. And there are very many. We have a lot of subscribed databases for complex or innovative research for all disciplines. And we also have a reference database known as EDOBA. So if you want to have a very brief knowledge, you use the EDOBA. That is our database. Another important pillar that you find in John Harris Library is the print resources, such as your textbooks and print-related resources, such as your journals, your memos, government publications that are very current and will assist you in your research. The third pillar are the human experts, the librarians. These are your research partners that assist you when you need help to face challenges. When you are accessing a physical database, you will use what is known as OPAC. In the OPAC, you have our institutional repository. The first step You go with it with your ID card that has been issued to you at your point of registration, and you go to the librarian who will check it out for you physically. The second aspect is discovery. If you want to discover our digital content, we have a lot of databases that contain a lot of articles, a lot of e-journals, e-books, and e-symbols and diagrams. And most of these databases have been paid for by the university. I must tell you, they are capital intensive and they are renewed annually. And these databases are meant for you. So if you don't use them, you simply be wasting the resources of the university because we must renew them yearly. So whatever you are looking for, either resources or e-resources for your assignment, for your project, for short-term paper, you go to these databases, to the relevant databases in your field. And how do you search them? If you are on campus, it's automatic. You can access them anywhere once you have our limited IP network. But if you are on campus, what do? You will use our university portal. Using the credentials that have been given to you, the username and password for you to log into our website so that you can access these databases. What qualifies you or your research work to be innovative or more complex than undergraduate projects is the use of search techniques. Search techniques are keywords, phrases, or tasks that are from your research title or your assignment that you have been given. You identify the keywords. Another important technique you must know is known as the Boolean operators. They are very, very essential for innovative research. We don't just want any research, we want innovative research to fill a gap in knowledge because we are contributing to knowledge. The first Boolean operator is known as AND. And helps you to narrow your results, your search results. For instance, as I have given there, assuming you are researching on renewable energy and solar power, it will narrow those topics. If you can give you resources, and not just one, numerous, on renewable energy and solar power. The second operator, Boolean operator, is known as OR. This phrase together. That is the use of and. We still have a lot. Okay. So, please, all you need to know, if you want to have more knowledge of this, we are organizing a workshop. And we'll communicate it if you attend our workshop. But please know that you need the 3 pillars to assess your resources, to produce innovative research, and the librarian is your partner. You're welcome to University of Benin, and the librarians are your research partners. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Please let us celebrate our librarian. She has just told you how you navigate when you come to the library, and all you need to know in doing your research when it comes to searching through the different methods. Ladies and gentlemen, we will not be able to take the next lecture. The last lecture today we will not be able to accommodate it. We'll take a musical interlude before we take the session. McDonald. So we have time to stretch, not to go outside the hall, because the Vice Chancellor is just right about here. Thank you.
Process.
Please let's quickly exit the auditorium so that we can process fast. The Vice Chancellor is already here. Please let's move out quickly. Let's move out quickly. Then you come in through the main entrance, that is the front door of the auditorium. Please move quickly. let the procession begin. Let the students do this real quick. Please come into the auditorium. Congratulations one more time, and welcome to the great University of Benin. Congratulations. Please let's move into the auditorium quickly. There are others still standing in the sun.
into the auditorium. Let's make the movement faster, please. We already had our seats, so it's easy. Let's move quickly back to our seats. Please move in quickly, move in quickly. Let's march like students, faster and stronger. Let's take the steps into the auditorium faster and stronger. Esteemed students, ladies and gentlemen, please rise to receive the Vice Chancellor's procession. The Vice Chancellor's procession is led by the Director in charge of Senate Matters, Mrs. Comfort Efigato. This procession comprises the Provost, College of Postgraduate Studies, the Provost, College of Medical Sciences, the Dean of Students, Deans of Faculties, Directors of Academic Programs and Institutes, this procession comprises also principal officers of our dear university, and of course, the Vice Chancellor himself. Receiving the Vice Chancellor's procession into the auditorium. First stanza of the national anthem. Independent anthem. Greatest Unibet! Greatest Unibet! Great! Great! Thank you. Please be seated. Our Vice Chancellor, the arrogant, visionary, dynamic, and truly transformational Vice Chancellor, Professor EDOBA OMOREGIE, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. Principal officers of our university, Provost, Deans, and Director, Professors Emeriti, other professors and scholars here present, government functionaries, the clergy, your Royal Highnesses, staff and students, invited guests, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you very specially to this matriculation ceremony of the postgraduate students of the University of Benin. I thought you would celebrate that. This is actually the second in series. May I now invite the registrar of our university, Ms. Bigbe Omoyewala, to introduce the Vice Chancellor and personalities of the Vice Chancellor's procession. Registrar.
take advantage of the protocol already established by the Public Relations Department. On behalf of the Vice Chancellor, our indomitable, unwavering Vice Chancellor, who believes that anything that is worldwide is achievable, Professor EDOBA, Bright OMOREGIE, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. I welcome you all to the second edition of the orientation and matriculation of postgraduate students in the University of Benin. This is one of the innovations of the present administration. I hope you will celebrate that. The Vice Chancellor has demonstrated uncommon interest in the aspect of postgraduate training. It's part of his 5-point agenda to make the University of Benin a hub of postgraduate education. I believe he still celebrates that. Before we proceed with today's matriculation ceremony, I introduce members of the Vice Chancellor procession. Today's procession is led by the Vice Chancellor himself. Because of the law we have for postgraduate training, he has to realign his schedule to be able to attend this personally. Last year he was represented because he was unavailably absent, but this year he made it as a point of duty for him to attend in person. Please join me to welcome Professor EDOBA OMOREGIE, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. Other principal officers are also present. Professor Osubo, Deputy Vice Chancellor of Administration. Professor Victor Igbeneweka, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic. Professor Buniami Ayinde, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Ekewa. Mr. Osage Sifu, the University Poster. Professor Jane Abba, University Librarian. Please welcome the Chief Study Brass, the Provost College of Postgraduate Studies, Professor David IZEKOR. Welcome, sir. Professor W.E. Sado, Provost College of Medical Sciences. Professor Efo Ekaise, Dean of Students. Professor Kyo Emokao, Dean Faculty of Agriculture. Professor Obio Sadolo, Dean Faculty of Arts. Professor H.B. Sadolo, Dean School of Basic Medical Sciences. Professor Mrs. Vivian Akukuma, Dean Faculty of Computing. Professor Mrs. John and Abulele, Dean School of Dentistry. Professor H. Alunge, representing Dean Faculty of Education. Professor Phil Ogwede, Dean Faculty of Engineering. Dr. Jeff Wood, representing the Dean Faculty of Environmental Sciences. Professor Bright Bazwaye, Dean Faculty of Law. Professor F.U. Okafor, Dean Faculty of Nursing Science. Professor Igwe, Dean Faculty of Pharmacy. Professor T.O.D. Imobe, Dean Faculty of Life Sciences. Professor J.N. Bego, Dean Faculty of Physical Sciences. Professor Joe Sawense, Dean Faculty of Science, Laboratory Technology. Dr. Ifeanyi Egbuniwe, Acting Dean Faculty of Veterinary Medicine. Professor E. Abiomo, Dean Faculty of Vocational and Technical Education. Professor Iyo Ibinosa, Director, University Admissions Board. Professor Mrs. Esther Ebayero Sage, Director, Center for Distance Learning Program. Professor UK Omoyiwo, Director, Center for Part-Time Programs. Dr. Peter Akere, representing Director, Tetfon Center of Excellence in Agriculture and Food Technology. Professor Dennis Odie, Director, Center for Continuing Legal Education. Professor R.S. Ebojai, Director, Advanced Digital Engineering Center. Professor Mrs. A. Ojiko, Director, Directorate of External Linkages and Internationalization. Dr. Mrs. O. Edeki, representing Director, Academic Planning. Professor Aaron Edopia, Director of Consultant Services Unit. Professor S.D.E.A.K., Director of UBIS. Dr. K. Imaswe, Acting Director, Institute of Education. Dr. John Osai, Acting Director, Institute of Public Administration and Health Services Management. Dr. Ebo Oire, Director, Center for Maritime and ICT. Dr. Mrs. N.B. Awa, Director, Center for Education and Technology. Today's procession is led by Mrs. C.I. Ehigiato, Director, Senate Matter Division. May I respectfully invite the Vice Chancellor, Professor EDOBA P. OMOREGIE, General Advocate of Nigeria, to declare the matriculation ceremony of the 2025-2026 academic session for postgraduate students open.
Governing Council, and the Senate of the University of Benin, and all other powers enabling me to do so, I declare the 2025-2026 matriculation ceremony for postgraduate students open.
May I respectfully invite the Provost, College of Postgraduate Studies, to deliver his address.
Vice Chancellor, sir, with your kind permission and approval, I want to stand on protocol already established. It is with great pleasure and profound sense of responsibility that I welcome you all to this important occasion, the matriculation ceremony of the 2026 postgraduate students of our great university. Today marks a defining moment in the academic journey of our newly admitted postgraduate students. Your admission into University of Benin postgraduate program is a testament of your hard work, determination, and readiness to pursue advanced knowledge. At the University of Benin, postgraduate education is not just about any degrees. It is about developing the capacity to think critically, conduct impactful research, and contribute meaningfully to national and global development. You are here to become creators of knowledge and drivers of innovation. As you begin this journey, I urge you to embrace discipline, integrity, and dedication. Postgraduate studies requires focus, independent thinking, and a strong commitment to academic excellence. The University of Benin has continued to distinguish itself as a center of excellence in postgraduate training, research, and capacity development in Nigeria and beyond. As postgraduate students, you are expected to rise above routine learning. You must cultivate critical thinking, research integrity, intellectual independence, and innovative problem-solving skills. Your work here should not only earn you a degree, it should generate knowledge that matters. Nigeria and indeed the global community is in dire need of solutions in areas of technology, in areas such as technology, environment, health, governance, and sustainable research, resource utilization. You are part of that solution. I encourage you to build strong academic relationships with your supervisor and actively participate in seminars. These engagements will no doubt broaden your perspective and enrich your research output. As an institution, we are committed to ensuring that every postgraduate student benefits from stimulating learning and environment, modern research facilities, and mentorship from experienced scholars. Whether you are pursuing a master's degree, a doctorate program, or a postgraduate diploma, you will find a community that is supportive, intellectually enriching, and driven by excellence. We are proud to be associated with the success stories of our postgraduate students who we have mentored and are exemplified in the quality of research output both in Nigeria and in diaspora. Having grown from producing just one PhD and 17 master's degree in 1982-1983 academic session to over 3,000 doctorate degree, 27,000 master's degree, and about 7,000 postgraduate diploma certificates as at the end of 2024-2025 academic session. We are indeed proud to say we have fulfilled our pledge in the University of Benin anthem of being robed in our purple and gold, clad in our fertile green hair, knowledge for service from two. University of Benin now runs 2 streams of postgraduate admission per section, with full assurances of timely graduation period in line with global best practices of postgraduate training. This development became necessary in order to accommodate the high demand for postgraduate training in the University of Benin. The 2025-2026 academic session for which you are part has just commenced, and we have successfully admitted 3,784 students comprising 965 PhD, 71 MPh, PhD, 22 DBA, Doctor of Business Administration, 51 MPhil, 2,163 MSc, and 552 postgraduate diploma students. As an institution, we are determined more than ever before to complete the academic session within record time, in line with the Senate-approved postgraduate academic calendar for the section. We are committed in ensuring that we make your period worthwhile in this university through timely completion of your academic program within the stipulated time frame. The University of Benin remains committed to providing an enabling environment for your success through improved supervision and efficient academic processes. However, your success ultimately depends on your dedication and sense of purpose. Once again, I congratulate you and charge you to take this academic journey purposeful, impactful, and successful. Thank you, and God bless.
Matriculation ceremony is one of the key academic traditions which is designed to formally induct new students into the academic community. Earlier in the morning, I had the opportunity to address the matriculants on the rules and regulations of the university in relation to your stay on campus. And so it is time for you to take matriculation oath. Therefore, may I request all matriculating postgraduate students to stand. There's a column there where you mention your name individually as we take the matriculation oath. So you say after me. On admission to membership of the University of Benin, Benin City, I solemnly and sincerely promise and declare that I will pay due respect and obedience to the Vice Chancellor and officers of the university, and that I will faithfully obey all the rules and regulations which may from time to time be issued by them for its good order and governance. I shall maintain harmony with my other colleagues throughout my stay in the university. So help me God. This is it. Vice Chancellor, sir, it's now time for symbolic signing of the matriculation register by selected postgraduate students. So please, once I call you, you come up, you move to the college secretary table and sign on behalf of your colleagues. PhD matriculants, we have Auni Esther Adedoto. Please celebrate her. Blessing Onoboyi Oluko. For MPhil PhD, we have Abdulkadir Umar Ibrahim. Adesuwa Olorunso Odetayo. For Masters in Philosophy, we have Elareva Jeffrey Edose and Okafor Faith. Okay.
May I respectfully invite the Vice Chancellor to deliver his address.
Principal officers of the University of Benin and other members of the management of the university, I recognize in particular Professor NOSAKHARE, IZEKOR, the Provost of the College of Postgraduate Studies, and today is his day. I also recognize Professor Wilson Sado, who is the Provost of the College of Medical Sciences. In a way, it's also his day. Deans and rectors, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to preside at this 2025-2026 matriculation ceremony for newly admitted postgraduate students of the University of Benin. This is one of the innovations of our administration in line with our #1 agenda, which is to strengthen the degree programs of the university, now to optimize our rating and global visibility. We remain fervently committed to this objective. Today's matriculation is significant in many ways. Primarily, it bestows a sense of belonging on the students and accentuates the university's seriousness about the definite start and conclusion dates for the postgraduate program. It's also worthy of note that the postgraduate study run in 2 streams during each session, thereby creating a form of convenience for students. At this ceremony, a total of 3,501 students have been admitted formally into the various faculties, schools, centers, and programs. They have been admitted on merit. Therefore, do not go out of that, nor the bar. Let's expect you to focus and to conclude your respective program promptly as we envisage. Shun distractions and seek to understand school policies that are not clear to you. The university's major focus is to impact positively on the lives of men and women who will be useful to themselves and to society. Hence, our robust investment in high-level skilled manpower research and infrastructural development. I therefore enjoin you to make every moment of your stay in this university worthwhile and be a valued member of our university community. God will help you to be the best that you can be. The University of Benin, as one of the leading universities in sub-Saharan Africa, has provided an enabling environment that is peaceful and serene. Help us to promote these objectives. To our faculty staff, please ensure that you fill your roles as teachers and mentors. The models to these postgraduate students, whose faces one reads tremendous enthusiasm. I appreciate all our esteemed parents, guardians, and sponsors for putting trust in us at the University of Distinction. I wish all our staff and students fruitful 2025-2026 academic session. Thank you for listening and God bless.
Please come with the Vice Chancellor. Thank you. Now, all students are enjoying to return their matriculation gowns between Monday, 13th April and Friday, 17th April 2026. Failure to do so will attract a penalty of 500 naira only. Maybe we should make it 5,000. I will ask the group. And then you're also advised to abide by regulations as specified in the College of Postgraduate Studies prospectus and the examination regulations under the post-credit system. May I now invite the registrar for the closing ceremony.
Thank you. May I respectfully invite the Vice Chancellor to declare matriculation ceremony closed.
The exercise of powers conferred on me by the Governing Council, Senate of the University of Benin, and all other powers enabling me to do so, I declare the 2025-2026 matriculation ceremony for postgraduate students closed.
Thank you, Macron. We will now rise, please, for the Libyan anthem and then the pledge. Pledge to Nigeria, my country, to be faithful, loyal, and honest, to serve Nigeria with all my strength, to defend her unity and uphold her honor and glory. So help me God. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. This is how we conclude the 2025-2026 academic session matriculation ceremony of the University of Benin for postgraduate students.
The Vice Chancellor is now leading